Hello everybody and welcome back. Now in today's video we're going to go over the overview of the last third part that you need to know for World War I. That is the effects of war. In this video we're going to talk about four main subjects: peacemaking, territorial change, political impacts, and the significant intricate impacts that occurred post-war economically, socially, demographically, as well as the role and status of women. Now, in these videos, we do need to get a little bit more detailed because all of World War I is a cross-regional warfare. So a lot of what we're going to be talking about is going to be shifted and broken down into further videos. So rather than the traditional 4 videos, we're going to be doing about 5 or 6, up to 7 videos based off of each one of these bullet points, because the thing that makes World War I so significant is that not only did the effects still continue to impact us today, but also the fact that a lot of what we're going to see provides justification for other wars, justification of other ways to fight wars, and also kind of mirror causations that we are going to see. Now, it is also important to note that a majority of what we're going to be talking about here also ties into paper 1 when it comes to German expansion, Italian expansion, and Japanese expansion, and also with the other half of paper 2, which is Hitler and Mao. So a lot of what we're going to be seeing is going to be geared into that direction, and talking about little examples here and there globally, so that we have a juxtaposition of regions that you can use and address as we go on. So let's break down each of these bullet points. The first bullet point is the success and failures of peacemaking. So this bullet point is fully focused on whether or not peace treaties or the attempts at maintaining peace was successful or not. And this could be whether certain policies ensured the safety of a country, the security of a country, or if these policies or peace treaties helped further descend countries into chaos, as we're going to see. And we're going to be going over 2 attempts at peacemaking as a juxtaposition on how we can determine whether they were a success or whether they were a failure. The next one is territorial changes. Usually after world wars or major cross-regional wars, there are massive territorial changes. And what we're going to see here is these territorial changes are going to not only be in Europe, but also in the Middle East and other parts of the world. Political. This is where we're going to start tying a little bit more into paper 1 and to our Hitler unit, where the political impacts of the short term of how that starts leaving Germany into a weak spot, and then long term of what this is going to mean overall. Now, economic, social, and demographic. So economic has its own video dedicated to why and how the economic situation that existed in the world was exasperated by during the war, and how that economic situation sets the stage for larger, bigger issues that we're going to see in the subsequent units. The social, that is going to be how the war changed the way people interact with each other, discussed with each other, and held themselves in society. Demographic is all about the shifts that we see within populations, as well as social. And the last is the changes in the role and status of women. This is geared towards discussing what women did during the war, what this would create post-war, and how this is all dependent on the status of women post-World War I, which is going to be very different because these shifts in roles and status aren't going to be for all women. And that's a really big key thing we need to discuss when we get to that video. Is going to be very critical as to why in the previous videos, when we've talked about women and the different roles we've seen during the war, this is all going to be more tailored and focused to exclusively talk about that. Let's go ahead and get started.